Matt's just rocking out. What's
Yeah,
up, buddy?
I'm over here just getting down. Uh,
Nice. Very nice. What's happening?
what's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot, man. Getting getting kind of excited. I know that you saw my social media post about getting out there and doing some ghost hunting.
I
Um,
sure did. I sure did. I'm a little jealous.
well, that's only because we haven't made any money yet to do some traveling.
We still struggling. We're still struggling hardest.
But it will happen. In fact, I'd like to talk to you about that a little bit. Um,
Oh,
have you heard of The Conjuring?
yeah.
Did you know that the real Conjuring house has been sold and purchased by people that think of it like an Airbnb for haunting?
Bro, that's a dark
It's
Airbnb.
dark as shit, dude.
That is a dark Airbnb. Fun fact though. Have you watched the 28 days on Netflix?
Yes, I have.
That was good. I enjoyed it.
The reason how I found out about the Conjuring house being up for rent, like for paranormal investigations,
Yeah.
is there's a movie on there's a movie on Amazon Prime that I just watched. It's called The Sleepless Unrest. Uh, a handful of people decided to do a documentary, and they stayed 2 weeks in the Conjuring house. Um, they got some interesting footage, and they saw some interesting things in the woods, which they heard tree knocks, and they saw mysterious lights and orbs of light in the woods. And it's known that there's a graveyard back there,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of history behind the place, and I'm going to look into it because oh, I man, I shouldn't spoil it. It's good. It's really good.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it tonight probably.
Yeah, definitely watch it. Um, let's just say, you know how you were talking about things following you home?
Mhm. Mhm.
Shit followed every single person home. All
That's
right.
what I'm saying, man. That's a dark
But
Airbnb. Like you're like, let's get together and do the paranormal house for our first investigation. First of all, and I'm going to say with all due respect, fuck no.
horrible idea, right?
Horrible idea. I
um,
mean, shit, man.
these people were asking to bring something home. First of all, they were there for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Second of all, I don't want to give it away. Let's just say that I believe there's a reason why shit followed him home.
Were they
They
provoking?
no, it. I almost think that this is worse. Uh, can I spoil a little bit of it for you?
Oh, go right ahead, man.
A lot of them brought home artifacts from the place.
Oh.
Like
Oh.
a guy's like, yeah, my kids have been seeing stuff, and he pulls out one of the Annabelle dolls that was in the house. He took one home, right? Another guy took an old like railroad nail home that he found up in the attic. One of the ladies took a jar full of dirt from the haunted grounds. So they were asking for it. They were asking for it.
People are so dumb.
There's certain things you just don't do. You know what I mean? They definitely didn't. I think there are certain protections that you can take when you go to a haunted place like that to ensure that things don't follow you home. Now, if things do, there are things you can do to alleviate that stuff. But
Protection number one: don't do dumb shit like take stuff home.
yeah, that's number one. I would have never, if I was with anybody and they're like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to take," I would be like, "Are you a moron?" Like, I would never take anything, even if they're like, "Hey, take a souvenir." I'd be like, "No, no, thanks.
Nope, I'm good.
I am totally good on that. I think time spent there alone is good enough." But
I have a change of clothes stored in an airport locker. I will burn these as soon as I get clear. I'm taking nothing home.
yeah. What's up, everybody in the chat? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Aaron Peckerwood Customs. I did when they were talking about the tree knocks, I was thinking Bigfoot. Um, and it was interesting that they were seeing lights in the woods because that's, you know, around a lot of Bigfoot sightings, lights in the woods have been seen. Um, it's just the whole place is just teeming with paranormal activity, and they got some good stuff. Um,
Yeah, just so everybody in the chat knows, because they've already commented on my double fisting of drinks. One is my hot drink because it is 28 degrees here right
good
now.
lord,
I have both my heaters running and whatnot. Um, and then the other one is my water.
nice. um, but yeah, I've been looking into purchasing some equipment and stuff, and I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. But
Bro, I'm all down to do this. You know I am. But like I am all for the tiptoeing into it at the same
yeah,
time
for
because
sure. I talk a big game. If I did it and I rented the Conjuring house and we went over there, I'd be shit scared. Um, I I have to experience something. I have to, and I'm not gonna go jumping right in. Now I know it sounded like, "Hey Matt, let's go to the Conjuring house." That's
I
I
mean
didn't
that's
want.
exactly what that sounded like.
I did. It did. Uh, I'm with you. I'd like to start off slow, but depending on how things go, that would be a hell of a lot of good content.
I mean,
My
I mean
God,
it would just be like we'd stay for 2 days. Okay? 2 days,
we
1 night.
absolutely, and we would definitely live stream from the place.
Oh yeah, the live stream nonstop.
Got to check out the woods. Um, but
Call.
there's some equipment I've got to gather first. Uh, I did. I was. Let me ask you your opinion on something because there is a place I really wanted to check out here in
Okay.
Washington State. It's in an old town called Snohomish. It's very close to me, only a few miles away. I drive past the place nearly every day.
Okay.
Um, it's called the Oxford Saloon. It used to be a gambling hall, brothel,
Okay.
and it's supposed to be one of the most haunted locations in Washington. Just so happens to be right down the street from me, but they don't allow paranormal investigators anymore because some jackasses went in there and provoked the ghosts, left, and the employees and the owner had to deal with the repercussions from them going in there being jackasses. So they don't allow normal investigations anymore. So I was like, I still feel like there's an opportunity there. So I've been doing some research, and they have these really cool 360-degree GoPro holders basically that have sensors and infrared on them. So you
Yeah.
get a 360-degree shot. So my idea was to get a few of those. They're very expensive. So it's going
Yeah.
to be a while before I get them. Get a few of those and those REM pods that are the temperature and electromagnetic sensors that turn
Well,
colors and make noise,
yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just set those around a perimeter and just see what gets caught. Um, that way, no one has to be in there. Because I'm wondering what your opinion is on this. Sometimes I think that paranormal investigators are the cause of no evidence being obtained. I think that some places are just like, oh, here are these jackasses again. Let's just be quiet for the night. Let them
Well,
get the hell out of here, and we can go about our business when they're gone.
that just it just depends on that really, because I mean, if you're dealing with a residual haunting, it's going to happen no matter what. And
Sure.
whereas that residual haunting is you hear the same footsteps go down the same stretch of hallway at the same time every night.
Yeah.
Um, that's residual. Um, but you turn around to the active hauntings, the intelligent hauntings, and I mean they very well could try to hide. It also, I think, it depends on what you go in, how you go in, and go about your business. You go in or dick and stuff like that, and try to bully them into doing something, you might
Yeah.
get diddly squat. But I think if you go in and don't necessarily open yourself up to it, but just have like a little bit more relaxed demeanor about it,
Mhm.
and just see what happens, I think you stand a better shot. Um, because I mean, like, I know I reference these guys a lot, but like, you got ghost hunters would go to an 800-year-old German castle
Yeah.
and have a recorder playing with questions, but all the questions are in English.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you
Yeah.
expect an answer? They don't understand it.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
it's not like all of a sudden you get a universal translation when you go. I'd imagine. I don't know, but I'm just saying. And then you got the guys like on Ghost Adventures trying to get evidence, and they go to somewhere in Italy. When they went to the Plague Island in Italy, and they left a recording playing, asking questions next to one of the recorders, and it was a in Italian. All the questions, they had a local person translate the questions and record it, and it was all in Italian. So I mean, it's and they get some of. I think they get some of the best evidence out there. So I really think it depends on how you go in and go about it.
Sure. I also I'm kind of annoyed at the questions that some of these investigators ask because it's the same old shit. Are you with
Did
us
you
in this
die
room?
here?
I want to know more. I want to know deeper things. I want to ask them flat out. Obviously, we're talking to ghosts, so it'd be interesting to see if they answered, "Is there life after death?" And then elaborate a little bit more on that, and ask them just off the wall questions. I'll ask them, "Is the Earth round?" I'll ask them all sorts of crazy shit
Oh,
and see
bro,
what they know.
I'll ask the hard hitting questions right there with you. Like, yo, you clapping ghost cheeks? Like, you still pulling, my man?
Uh, I just I don't know. It seems like there's a little bit of paranormal investigation has gotten a little monotonous for me. So I'm trying to
It,
think of different ways to do it.
it's definitely in a rut, but I think that also comes like what you said earlier about invest all the investigators kind of ruining things.
Mm,
Um, it's kind of gotten in a rut because all the shows are just doing the same thing. Go get the history on a place, investigate,
mhm.
try to get something. Like, man, it's I was watching one, and they bring in new tech all the time. And what they did is they did a LODAR, I think it's called
Radar.
LIDAR or something, where a guy walked through the house with equipment on his back, taking radar scans of the house.
Cool.
And he walked the entire house and then the immediate property around it. And they didn't catch a ghost on it, but they did catch a chair that wasn't there.
Really?
Like he walked twice to make sure he got a good scan, and in one scan there was a chair that was black instead of filled in like it should be.
Hmm.
So like it like absorbed the radar in that spot. And then when he did the other walk, it wasn't there. And there were no chairs in
Interesting.
the building. It was a gutted remodel they were working on.
Interesting. Um, I do want to experiment, like I said, with investigating while not being there, putting the cameras in, setting them up, and then reviewing what happens when no one's there. Because if
Yeah.
it's a residual, like you said, it's gonna be on playback. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, and we hear so many. I've seen so many of these shows where like we went into the other room and we caught this. Well, while nobody was in the room, we caught this. So that's where I see a lot of the most compelling evidence. um, but I've also seen they pull out the spirit box, and instead of just asking bullshit questions, they have a deck of cards, and they pick a random card and they show the camera, and they put it down, and they say, "What color is this card?" Or they pick a random card and put it face down. I say, "What color is it?" Or "What card is this?" And I've seen, now it could be fake, of course. I've seen the spirit box say red 6, and it was a 6 of diamonds. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, now we're getting into some interesting. All right, there is no, because you get a lot of these EVPs, and I love when you're watching a paranormal show and you hear the EVP and you're like, that's kind of hard to make out, but they automatically know, oh, he said my name, or and I'm like, yeah,
And
that,
they do a fun thing there where it's like suggestional hearing.
yes, 100%. I,
They
I
put
don't I don't like that. I like the Ovulus, which kind of does the same thing, but you can put it in dictionary mode where it'll only say words. So if the words are making sense that the thing's saying, then
yeah.
I think that's a little bit different. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
So
there's got to be a way to liven it up a little bit and make it a little bit different. But
so I said my family's followed and stuff.
yeah. Uh-oh.
There is, I can feel it. I don't see it. I feel
Okay.
it. But there is something watching from right there in my truck.
Right now.
Yeah, I can feel it watching me.
I wanted to do an experiment for a while. I wanted to do it by myself, but if you can pick up on a digital voice recorder a voice, And technically, when we're sitting here with microphones,
You should pick something up on the show.
right?
You should.
Why don't you ask a question, Matt? We'll be quiet for a few seconds, see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Why are you following my family?
Now I'm curious. That's I will review this footage and I will review the file and I'll see if anything was answered. That's going to be creepy because I wanted to try contacting my mom and my grandma by myself, but I was a pussy. I was like, no, don't do it.
Don't do that, man. They're where they need to be. Whatever answers you probably ain't them.
Yeah, and that's where I was thinking. I remember us talking about that, and I was like, God, anything could pretend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but have you ever heard of the Hat Man?
Dude, it's a very common shadow figure.
Yes,
Dude in a hat and a top hat.
in various forms of hats,
Mhm.
all a top hat, fedora, long coat like a trench coat or a cloak.
I
Um,
think it's people seeing
cape.
death, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird to me that people are saying seeing the same shadow person, and I don't know what to make of it. Is it the leader of the demons? Is it Lucifer himself? Uh,
I mean, I think it's death himself.
but these people aren't dying. I just watched a
No,
documentary about it, and I'm like, wow, all these people are seeing this thing, and a lot of them suffer from sleep paralysis. And I did share on the show that I have had one situation where I experienced sleep paralysis, but I did not see anything. I was just frozen, and it was scary because my eyes were open and it was in the dark, and I knew because your brain's working, and I was going, fuck, this is where the old hag or the hat man or an alien or some shit, and I can't do anything, and I just have to sit there and watch the horror unfold before my eyes.
you're like, this is
Um,
how it goes.
but I realized that how terrifying that must be if you actually did see something. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
Because these
sure.
these people are talking about they saw the figure in their doorway and they're like, oh shit, and they close their eyes and they open them, the thing's closer, and I'm like, that is
As as
frightening.
someone who has woken up and seen something in their room, yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. Um, but yeah, man, the whole feeling like you're being watched and things like that
Oh,
unsettles me a
it
little bit.
left. It didn't like me noticing it. I don't feel watched anymore.
That's man, you got to bust out the sage or something, dude.
We've. I think the wife said she's getting ready to cook something up. So
That's good. Let me ask you this. I've
yeah,
kind of wondered this. So they say that playing with a Ouija board opens doors,
yeah,
right?
don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely not. But what's the difference between a Ouija board and just
Yeah.
asking the thing questions? Because
Oh,
you're
you're
still
opening.
opening that door for
y-
communication, right?
Well, the thing of it is like mine has been with me since forever. So I don't have a problem asking it a question every now and then, or telling it to knock it off if I'm feeling perturbed. Um,
Does it feel malevolent?
no, it's not here to collect for me. It's collecting off my mom's generation.
Does your mom still experience things?
Not that I know of recently.
Yeah.
The move in houses might have helped. Usually doesn't in situations, but it could have got what it needed or what it was owed. And then it's just whatever I just felt watching me just as it's just.
That generational haunting is weird to me. Um,
I mean, you gotta realize though, man. Like I was saying, like I didn't realize this until my wife did some digging because she's been putting together a family tree for my side and her side.
mhm.
And come to find out, like, there's enough Cherokee in me for myself and my son to qualify for our cards.
Wow, that's crazy.
Um, and so I mean, I mean, who knows? It could be an ancestor just hanging out,
Yeah,
watching over my ass. You know what I mean? 'Cause like I said, none of
sure.
it's ever felt malevolent,
Yeah, that's
except
the
for when I was a kid.
yeah,
Then whatever that was felt malevolent, but this other one that I sense every now and then, it's not malevolent.
yeah.
You just you just
The creepy evil ones are the ones that bother
You
me.
you just feel like there's somebody else in the room, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you know you're not by yourself.
I'm not down with black shadows. Like, that would bother me if I was seeing black shadows out of the corner of my eye and stuff like that.
I've never seen a black shadow except for when I woke up and whatever was in my room was in my room.
Yeah.
But it was also pitch black, so it could have been any color. But everything I've seen in mom's house when I was a kid was more of a gray.
Okay, that makes me
But
feel
it
a
was
little better.
also but it was also daylight.
Yeah. I'm when I go on these investigations, I'm really not expecting to see anything or get any evidence whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not going in there thinking I'm gonna get the best footage of all time, but I have to try. I have to see what's out there. I have to answer my own personal question because it's like, I believe it and I believe the stories that I've heard, but I haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? And I feel like seeing it or experiencing it will completely change the game. Because I
Man,
am one of those people who's like the mountaintop guy, where if I knew it was real, then anybody that said, "Oh, that's bullshit," then I can go, "Listen, fuckface, you say it's bullshit, but because you always, I think I talked about this on the show before, you always have those people that say, yeah, I don't believe in that shit." But this
yeah,
one time I did have that crazy shit happen, and it's like, well, fuck, how can you say you don't believe in it if you've had crazy shit happen?
man, I've said this many times. Dutch, it's not a polyblock. How dare you, sir? Uh, but no, it's people will only admit what they can handle is real.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's it would have to be so terrifying if you didn't believe in it and it happened that it would boggle your mind. You know what I mean?
Man, it was just it'd blow people away. Like honestly, there'd be panic in the streets if society as a whole accepted that there's an other level of existence happening around us right now.
Mhm. Dutch guys lives in a haunted house, I'm sure of it. I think we could ask questions on this show. Like if I said, if there are any presences
Make yourself known.
listening listening to the people watching the show, make yourself known to them right now and make a noise in their house. Could you imagine one of those guys is like, dude, I just heard 3 knocks. Like,
Oh, I'd feel so bad.
yeah,
I would
right?
feel
We just
so
stirred
bad.
some shit up. Man. Um, but I do wanna experiment with the paranormal a little bit and do some investigating. I don't really wanna I reached out to a, TAPS affiliate
Oh
in
snap!
local to me, and they shot me down so hard. They're they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not accepting new memberships, and we don't do tag-alongs." Because I was like, "Oh, look, I just wanna document some stuff for my podcast." And, I knew they were gonna say no. I kinda felt it. But, they do a lot of residential shit, and I'm not interested in doing a private investigation. I'd rather go to a public place that's well known and
Yeah,
known to be haunted. Um,
man, try to get one of them on the show.
I put it out there that we do the podcast and stuff, and I was completely honest. I said, "Look, I'm a believer, but I've never seen anything. My co-host has had experiences." Um, but, I can imagine how many, like, because it's so prevalent on TV, I can imagine they get a lot of requests. Like, "Oh, let
I'm
me just
sure.
tag along," and they don't know you, and to to go on their investigations, you have to get a full background check, which I respect. You know what I mean? They don't want people going into private
Well,
homes and
you
stealing
also don't want
shit.
to be locked down with a crazy person.
Yeah, Johnny Rapist and shit, you know what I mean? Totally. Um, yeah, Dutch guys, you got some stuff there. If there's any entities in Dustin's house right now, make yourself known. Touch them.
Touch him.
Touch them in special places.
Touch
Um,
my body.
we're talking about portals tonight, Matt. Now, before we get into it, I do want to just ask you flat out, do you believe portals are real?
I believe that there is a. I mean, it's the definition of a portal, but like there's a gateway to other Earths or other
Dimensions.
dimensions outside of our or other planes within ours that you just don't see.
Sure. Um, I 100% believe in portals, and I know that NASA has confirmed that there are portals. Which, man, the whole what is going on here? What is going on in the
Lance,
chat right now? What is happening?
Lance got me. Keep your
Oh, that's funny.
Lance got me good. That was a good one, Lance. If there's anything in Lance's house.
Yeah, man. There's another world out there that we can't see.
But you know what? Like, I don't want to mess with Australian ghosts because I don't know like what they're all about. Like, I want to know about like American ghosts that like to pretend like they're cats and knock shit off shelves.
There's something about the old ones or the ancient ones, the
Oh
jinn,
yeah,
that
yeah,
that shit that that's a whole different level compared to, the lady in white that lived in your house when it was, 1900s or 1800s, and she just happens to walk around every once in a while. But
yeah.
there's
You get it.
something about those entities that are inhuman
The
entities.
primordials.
Yeah, those things freak me the fuck out, dude. Um, I don't know. I gotta look before I do any of that shit. I gotta look more into how to cleanse myself and protection prayers and things like that. Because
The
I
last thing you want to do is bring anything home.
I definitely don't. I definitely want to protect myself because I don't want to be taken over by a spirit. That's what I mean? I don't want to. I don't like the idea of going into a place with just two people, because if something happens to one person, then the other person's like, "Fuck, now I got to save us both." Because I mean, you're walking around in a dark place. Somebody could trip and fall, hurt
Yeah,
themselves. Things like that too.
it.
Or somebody could be possessed.
I'm definitely pro a 3-man team.
Yeah. I'd say there's a fine line. I think between 3 and 5 is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Although I do like these, and I'm probably going to go on one. I just haven't found the right group yet. They do group investigations of notoriously haunted places, and they split you up into small teams and you go do investigate. I don't know. I feel like that would be fun. I wouldn't expect to see anything, but I would like to. A lot of it is, and I've been thinking about this. A lot of it's the history of the places that's fun to, it's cool to see old places and learn the history of stuff like that. So I don't know. No, no, Dutch. I have not looked into the Count of Charmaine yet.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I've had a lot of stuff going on this week.
Me too.
I have not looked into anything.
I saw that you
Um,
texted me some more videos, but I didn't get them up. I do have a couple of yours. I think a couple, but we've got some videos. I do have. We are bringing up a couple YouTube videos today. One of them I thought was interesting, and we'll watch them after the clip shows, or after we show the clips. But I found some visual effects artists that went on to, for 15 minutes, debunk various ghost footage. So I would
no.
love I would love to watch some visual effects artists go, "Oh, this is how you would do that," because I'm curious. Um, I said I would love to get somebody on the show that can really debunk some shit and that has some, serious knowledge in that. And this is the second best way to do that is by watching a video of real visual effects artists doing it. So the immortal Jew, that's man, it's like Hitler's worst nightmare. The immortal Jew.
Bro, do you pay any attention to the stuff of it's Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, Two Bears One Cave.
If
They have a
Bristy's watching this, she's a huge fan of both of those guys, and I love them too. And I
oh,
do
they
love
crack
Two
me
Bears
up,
One
but
Kid.
yeah,
They're
they have a
hilarious.
podcast called Two Bears One Cave.
Oh yeah.
Did you see what Tom Segura gave Bert for a birthday present?
Was it the race car? Or no, that was Bert giving. No, I didn't.
He gave the cup. He gave him a teacup from Hitler's vacation house that Hitler had used.
Jesus Christ.
But I mean, I'm 99% confident Bert's a Jew.
I
Bert
would
is Jewish.
Kreischer. I think that's German.
Well, I mean, he could be German Jew. I don't know, but anyway, either way.
I like that he calls him Burnt Chrysler. um, yeah,
But I mean,
those
but I
those
mean,
two are pretty funny. I like it.
but dude, he was dying. She's like, I'm supposed to destroy this. And it was just, bro.
Well, maybe he's Jewish. I don't know.
I don't know. He might. Man, hold on.
Kreischer's funny. Supposedly Van Wilder was actually inspired by him.
1,000%. He sold the rights to it.
That is so crazy. I'm excited to see his movie. That should be
Oh,
fun.
the machine?
The Machine, yeah. Have
It's
you ever
got
seen him live?
yes. Oh, not live, no.
Bert Kreischer's fucking hilarious. It was one of the best comedy shows I've ever been to. Um, yeah, those guys make me laugh. Let me while you're doing that, let me queue up some of these videos here.
Okay. Okay, so no, he's not,
I did see the trailer for The Machine, Lance. It looks it looks funny. Just because I'm a huge fan of Bert and Tom. Um, they're Tom and Christina's show, Your Mom's House, is fucking hilarious.
bro, I hadn't heard of Tom Segura for a long time, and somebody goes, "Hey, you know that dipshit kid you have working for you at nights?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "I need you to watch Tom Segura ball hog like the first 15 minutes and tell me that story ain't about that kid."
That's funny.
I'll be goddamned if it wasn't that kid.
um, yeah, those guys are hilarious. Um, let's get
Let's
into
get
some
into it.
videos. We're already half an hour in. All right. So we've actually got I'm sorry, Matt, I might have lied. These may be curated all by me. My
You know
bad.
what? It's fine. I like the raw reactions.
All right. This one, I don't think we've seen this one. I've seen videos like it, but I don't think we've played any on the show, and I don't think we played this one in particular yet. But correct me if I'm wrong. It has a little familiarity, but this is about a mysterious creature. Let's check it out.
Mysterious creature floats in a river near a village in Indonesia. Measuring at 23 meters long and 4 meters wide. It is said that many people were going missing when they went into the river. The villagers believe this creature was the problem.
I don't understand how a plankton-eating whale is the issue.
Is that a whale decomposed?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've played that one before. Yeah,
Have we?
That's a whale.
Damn it. All right. Let's move on to the next one, then we won't even waste any time. It is funny when they do that, though, because there's been many times where whales, when they decompose, look horrific.
Oh yeah. Oh, they look just
They look like
absolute-
monsters. A lot of the times you've heard us both mention how we believe the ancient civilizations are connected, and this video kind of put that into a visual that I thought was interesting and worth showing. I thought, just because I'm such a proponent, like, okay, how the fuck are they so similar, but yet there was no way of traveling around the world. This video,
allegedly.
yeah, I liked this enough to play it.
What's a conspiracy theory that no one can convince you isn't true because somehow it just makes sense? I'll go first. All ancient civilizations were somehow connected. There are so many unexplainable similarities between civilizations that are just never connected. And by that I mean they were literally oceans apart. I mean they weren't exactly going to jump on a Boeing 747 back in the day. Now I'm not even going to touch on the fact that everyone and their grandmother liked to build pyramids that were in the same shape as Orion's belt. Or that their gods that they worshipped were incredibly similar. So I'm going to focus on these bad boys. Now when we think of these heads, we think of the tiny island in the middle of the ocean 2,000 miles away from any landmass. The infamous Easter Island. Now these megalithic heads are known as Maui. Now only recently did we discover there's not just the heads, and there's actually 30 feet of a body buried underground on each statue. The first sus moment is the fact that all 30 feet of body is buried under tons and tons of sediment. Now scientists have actually asked the question, is it possible for this much sediment to build up in only 700 years and cover 30 feet of a body on a remote island? That was really hard to say, but basically no, they don't think it is. The second sus moment is the fact that ancient civilizations all had their own statues and they share a striking resemblance to the ones on Easter Island. And once again, Easter Island is 2,000 miles away from any landmass. Don't believe me? Let me show you. First up, we've got the cloud people of Peru, the bearded gods on Boa Island in Ireland, the statues in Mesoamerica. We have some in Mexico, casually chilling in Indonesia. We have this one in Turkey. Also notice how in most of the statues, all of the hands are the same. And one in Göbekli Tepe. All from cultures who apparently never met. Now don't get me wrong, I don't have the answer to this conspiracy theory, but there just seems to be a lot of coincidences that just don't seem like coincidences. I'm excited to see what conspiracy theories you guys believe. Now share this with a friend to completely blow their mind. Now everyone with me.
cocaine is a hell of a drug. I'll say that.
Bro, that guy needs to like back it up at least one bump.
Yeah, he's a little out there. But again, it just blows my mind. I don't understand. Like, I wasn't taught that shit in school. The question wasn't even brought up of, isn't it kind of interesting that there's so many ancient civilizations that have similar relics and they worship similar gods, things like that, and similar structures? That was never even brought up. If I was a teacher, I think that would be one of the big things I would bring up. 'Cause if my teacher had mentioned that, I might have been pushed into a career that like archaeology or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm so interested. It boggles my mind. But I know I've definitely mentioned it many times, and I just thought that the visual was cool of seeing all the stuff.
Bro, I'll agree. He's got some solid facts there. Like
for sure.
I found the hand positioning interesting.
Yeah, 100%. There's where there's smoke, there's fire, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't believe in coincidences like that. You know what I mean? So if you asked me, Chris, do you believe that ancient civilizations were more advanced than we have been led to believe? I would say 150 fucking %, dude. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I just don't know. You know, I can sit here and pontificate all day long about, you know, how the things were similar. Maybe ancient aliens did come down and inspire all these different cultures, or maybe we were far more advanced and we could travel around the world. I don't know which side I fall on. I'm in the middle. I just don't know.
Man, but like we've said before, and like I've said many times, I don't believe modern school is there to teach anybody anything.
Yeah, they just teach you how to go through the motions and become a
worker bee.
Yeah, a worker bee. That's exactly what it is.
Like, I mean, they even start having you specialize in what field you want to go into in high school now.
Yeah.
And they gear your classes towards that terminology and everything.
I know I talked to, when I was in, what grade was it? I was really young. It was after I started getting interested in cryptozoology and stuff. Because for some reason, I think every kid goes through this. They want to be a marine biologist, and I wanted to be a marine biologist. And then I discovered ghosts and Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and shit. And I found out that cryptozoology was a thing. And I told my teacher I wanted to be a cryptozoologist, and he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Aren't you supposed to know shit? Like, you're a teacher, man." And then as soon as I said, I made the mistake of using the word hunting. I said, you know, hunting Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, and he laughed at me. Son of a bitch. I can't imagine that would have went well with a guidance counselor either. I want to be a cryptozoologist. But, you know. Okay. I did find some videos on portals. These are very debatable, but I thought they'd be fun to watch. So let's check this first one out.
Construction workers are underground working on a government building project. Inside what seems like an ordinary tunnel, something incomprehensible happens that none of them have ever seen before.
It's as if the tunnel has come alive and it's breathing.
The tunnel seems to move as a cloud, repeatedly and very suddenly, appearing and disappearing. Workers who witness it are terrified, including Juan Antonio Sanchez.
La tierra empezó a rugir, como de un león. Eso produce mucho temor porque en cualquier momento uno creía que el túnel se podía derrumbar o que podía... Temimos mucho por nuestras vidas.
Footage of the weird pulsing energy baffles scientists.
There's also this booming sound that's associated with it.
Is this dangerous? Is the whole thing going to collapse?
What the hell's going on here?
Physicist Chad Orzel reviews the footage and considers an incredible theory.
There's a very regular pulsation, so it seems like something must be controlling it. If you were going to imagine an intergalactic portal to a distant galaxy, this is what it would look like.
Many physicists are convinced they exist, but nothing like it has ever been filmed. A wormhole or stargate is considered by some to be a possible future means of interstellar travel.
These kinds of wormholes are frequently used as ways to travel interstellar distances in space. They show up in the movie Stargate, they show up in the movie Interstellar as long-distance travel arrangements. So this seems like a really great idea.
Stargates and wormholes sound like science fiction, but some of the greatest minds in science believe they might be possible.
Introduced by Albert Einstein himself in 1935, a wormhole is a shortcut, a subway system connecting two distant points in space and time.
What do you think about that video?
I feel like I saw it years ago, and someone actually figured it out and explained it. I just can't remember. I think it had something to do with some kind of moisture pressure or something like that. Like it had something to do with the weather, but at the same time, it could have just been a cover-up story.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I remember watching something about it years ago.
I thought it was interesting. It wasn't a long enough video for me to go, yeah, it's a portal.
The road moving with it was pretty impressive.
That's where I was like, is this an earthquake? Is it, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, the road moving with it, that was pretty impressive.
Because it's a TikTok video, and it looks like it's out of a documentary or one of those shows. I was a little skeptical. I was like, somebody could have put a bunch of clips together, but they had a geologist on there and a couple other people. But again, you know, these are people. Just because they're a geologist doesn't mean they know shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of doctors out there that don't know shit. You know.
Look,
so,
I mean, hold on one second.
And there goes Matt. Now I'm all alone. Yeah, I was actually have you guys ever looked into string theory? Oh my god. Holy shit. Doing some research on portals, I got involved in. I watched a documentary with Michio Kaku. He's this Japanese. Hey, what's
Boom,
up?
I'm a doctor.
But they were talking about the theory of relativity and wormholes and how time travel is possible. But string theory, like I watched a TED talk on it. I watched quite a few videos on it where these scientists are talking about it. And I actually watched one that was pre-CERN. So pre-Hadron Collider. And the guy was super excited. He's like, we're gonna open some shit. And I was like, oh my god. I was like listening to him talk about it because it was during a TED talk, and this guy is a something physicist. I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not a theoretical physicist.
Astro?
No, it was one of the really serious physicists. I forget. It's like one of the most prominent ones. Anyway, he was explaining string theory, and he was all excited about the Large Hadron Collider, talking about possibly opening, because you're talking about multiple dimensions and how to, we live in a 3D world.
Yeah.
And if there's multiple dimensions, at least 10 of them, the Large Hadron Collider was supposed to create the gateway. But what a lot of people are saying is that we're actually living in an alternate dimension right now, because apparently they did some shit and changed the course of history, and that's why you get the Mandela effect. You know what I mean?
Bro, I can tell you right now, I know some stuff has changed.
They say that we all died in 2012. I had to stop watching this video because I was not high and I was not drunk. I did not have any substance in my body, and I felt like I was stoned listening to this guy talk, because he was talking about we're all dead. We all died in 2012, and this is actually an alternate version of us. And I'm just like, okay. And I followed him for about 6 minutes, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
Now, I have heard that theory that
we all died.
That as you die, you get pulled into
a different
there's the primary being, and then there's the alternates. And as the primary being dies, if they die like young or as they die, They step in, their consciousness shifts into the next closest version.
Wow. I mean,
So
there's only so much my brain can take before it's like.
So then that's where you
explodes.
get, but that's where you get like the Mandela, and that's where you get and that's why if like we all did die in 2012 or whenever they fired off the Hadron Collider, like what if we're on Prime Earth and we're all the primes, and then the Hadron Collider killed us all, and we shifted just a little bit, not a lot, but we shifted just a little bit into that next dimension where we all were, and that's why everything's just a little different. And why sometimes you have a rando memory, or rando memory, or something that you're not sure if you really experienced it or not, or it was a fever dream. Deja vu.
Yeah, Lance. There is a theory that we are living in an alternate reality since CERN. When you start messing with that, when I heard that and I saw how excited that guy was, I was like, shit. That's Dutch guys. You're right. Gynecologist. That's the gynecological physicist. That's funny. That's funny.
We're about to have this vagina and mock Jesus.
That kind of shit just melts my brain. But let's get back into these portal videos. Let me just preface this one by saying
I was like, that was it?
It is absolute bullshit. So let's get into it. I think it's absolute bullshit, but I could see how somebody could be easily fooled. It's so easy to fake CCTV shit.
Bro, it wasn't even a good fake.
No. I saw that. I could not find good portal videos except for one little situation we'll get into in a minute. It's not TikTok.
Did you see the video of the guy walking out of a portal in the background of a news broadcast?
No, that's hilarious though. How fake was that one?
Pretty fake.
Yeah. I did not find any convincing portal stuff, but I did. We're gonna watch one more TikTok, but there's a YouTube legend, and maybe you guys have heard of him. He went by Funky Fathead, and he claimed to be able to open portals using sound frequencies, and the visuals on it. He's a legend online, and reading some of the comments, I'm like, because he put out all these videos and then disappeared, and so there's all these conspiracy theories like they got him and shit, and he walked through the dimension, didn't come back. YouTube, I mean, you get on the car stuff, and it's like, all right, everybody's got their opinions and shit, and then you get into this conspiracy shit, and it's funny what people will believe. I can't wait to show you that video. I got a good kick out of it, and we're gonna play the legend of Funky Fathead. But let's watch this last portal video.
Used for science experiments.
This is the preface to that. Sorry.
Used for science experiments. I would say so.
This is a YouTube video posted by someone calling himself Funky Fathead.
You can see a much more stable fracture.
He says he's using a computerized tone generator to open a vortex, a portal in time and space.
I haven't a clue where he is. He sounds American, so I'm hazarding a guess somewhere in the States.
The video caught the attention of this man who posts videos from his home in England. He calls himself Hidden Underbelly.
He went on to experiment with portals and sound frequencies.
Hidden Underbelly spoke to us via Facebook messaging after this video racked up more than a...
So I saw that TikTok and I was like, huh? And then I went down the rabbit hole, and sure as shit, his whole account got taken down.
Oh shit!
So people, of course, people will save videos that they find interesting. So people were saving his videos and stuff, and I'm gonna save the time and just play a short 6-minute YouTube video. That's basically the hidden underbelly guy that we just got introduced to. He did a YouTube video called "The Experiments and Mystery of Funky Fathead." I have not watched this video yet, so it could be ridiculous. We're about to find out. But I was compelled. I was like, this is the most compelling shit I've found as far as videos go on opening portals and shit. And to think it would be that easy. I'm like, well, if he figured out how to do it, the government definitely knows how to do it. But I'm very, very, very skeptical. I'm super skeptical. So let's watch this one. And then after this, we'll talk some portal stuff. And then I want to close out the show watching these visual effects artists. Look at that shit. Debunking ghost footage. All right, let's see here. This should be it. Okay, here we go.
Funky Fathead is a YouTuber that was experimenting with portals by using frequencies. Now, this clip that I'm going to show you is from his channel, and this is his first experiment where he was using 432 hertz frequencies to open up a portal.
Wiggled out of, just wiggled, disappeared. Yeah, I know that sounds weird. Let's see if. I didn't have to wait long before. As soon as I put that speaker, there it is. Fucking crazy. That tone, that frequency.
Could you imagine if this was real?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Bro, I'm gonna put this out there. He did a really good job with it.
Wow. Yeah.
After achieving.
You think so?
I mean, if it's fake, he did a great job doing it. Because I mean, he even had where the light was reflecting on it off the window, and it stayed in the same spot while he was walking around it and everything. So I mean, I'm skeptical. But, I mean, he put a lot of time into it.
Yeah. Let's continue watching.
Even that result at 432 hertz, he decided to up the game and put it on 528 hertz, to which an astounding result took place. Now here's the clip.
There's the fracture. I have other videos that show this thing opening up.
The pause. I have other videos. And then pause. It's like,
as you saw in the last clip, he was working on the frequencies at 528 hertz, and he was getting a fracture in space and time. So what he decided to do was to get the fracture open at 528 and then quickly reduce it to 525 hertz. And this led to an opening to a place called Sedona. Now, here's this clip.
Arizona?
Arizona.
Fluctuation there.
He's hoping some hot broad's gonna walk right out of that portal, right into his bed.
He's like, "Oh, we're already here. I have
Welcome
other
to Earth."
videos."
I've got other videos.
If you don't know where that is, I do.
Because I got the
It's
picture
in
off Google.
Sedona. And it is a well-known vortex phenomenon. There's several of them there, and you are witnessing a gate, portal, wormhole.
Put your hand
Stargate,
through it,
whatever you
dude.
wanna
Come
call
on.
it, from this bedroom to another state.
Could you imagine if this guy was really perverted and he just stuck his wiener through that thing? And you're sitting there in Sedona and you're just hiking, all of a sudden this floating dick just pops out on the trail.
Bro, get out of my head.
I mean, we're men. We gotta stick our dicks in things. Right in a portal.
If there's an opening, my dick's going in it.
Can you imagine you just walking through the trail and a dick hits your face?
Interdimensional glory hole.
And you back
Get
up.
the fuck right off.
Floating dick. Just oh, so stupid. Oh, man.
And now it's 4 months later since he's opened that portal, and not a peep from him. I have written to him several times and heard nothing back. And to me, something's bizarre, because
He's serving a
if
dime in
I
Arizona
was
State.
experimenting
Yeah,
with
right.
something like this, I know that if I didn't have my family, I would be tempted to stick my hand through, stick my arm through, stick my leg through,
come on,
then stick my whole body through.
Yeah, we know what
And
you're,
I'm
we know what you're
wondering
building up to.
if Funky Fathead did that. So wherever you are, brother, may God bless you. And to me, this is a mystery of what happened to Funky Fathead. And I hope one day you'll either get in touch, drop another video, let us know you're still there. But as it stands now, it's a bit of a mystery.
Watch
So
this guy be Funky
thank you
Fathead.
for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, may God bless y'all and keep you all safe. Till next time.
So I thought it would be fun to order one of those little things and try it. So I I do have the sound generator. So we're
Oh
gonna
my
see if we
God.
can open a portal right now. No, I'm kidding. I don't have that shit.
Chris is like, I'm getting some action today, whether Bristy likes it or not.
Yeah, to be honest, if I if I could do that, just because I have a wife and kid, I probably wouldn't experiment with it. But if I was a single guy, I probably wouldn't sacrifice my dick, but I definitely would stick like a finger, like I'd stick my pinky in, because I feel okay if it got lopped off. I'd stick my pinky in and just see what happens, pull it out, smell it a little bit, make sure everything's good.
Bro,
But,
I'm just saying, imagine you're out there and you're like, oh my God, this view is great. and you get rando mushroom stamped by some motherfucker playing with a speaker in his bedroom.
Oh man. Yeah. That's he's doing 12 to 7 for getting intimate with a fax machine. Oh god. Man. Yeah, I couldn't help but I was like, this is crazy. And reading how many people absolutely think this guy is gone because of the government, like, or that he just walked through that shit and couldn't find his way back in. you know. I
Like,
don't
oh
know.
my god, he's just like Jerry McConnell in Sliders.
I just don't know if I'd be willing to. I mean, could you imagine if let's just pretend for a minute that was real.
Okay.
And he opened that shit up. The temptation to see what's on the other side. Because when you talk about portals, there's definitely areas on Earth, Skinwalker Ranch is one of them.
Yep.
Where it seems, and Bigfoot is thought to, I see Bigfoot brought up in the chat a lot. Bigfoot is thought to be going through portals and dimensions, and that's why, you can't really find them.
Yeah, but I mean, if any of my studies into Japanese culture are to do us any good, if that portal was real, tentacle should have came out of it.
Yeah. I don't know if I would fuck around.
I would
fuck around
not.
and find out. You know what I mean? Jump through there.
That's the textbook to find out, and I don't want to find out that way.
Maybe he jumped through and Biden could actually formulate a sentence. He's like, this is a way better reality. Oh man. No, do I think portals are real? Yes. Wanted to read a couple things about portals real quick. So
portal rules of etiquette. Number 1, don't put your dick in.
Definitely the rule number 1 of portals. That would be another great t-shirt. Rule number 1 of portal etiquette. Rule number 1, don't put your dick in. This article was titled, Did Our Ancestors Know How to Open a Portal to Another Dimension?
Yes.
That was interesting. It says, there are a number of areas across the world known to be energetic hotspots. From ancient megaliths to ley lines, these areas are often alleged to produce hyperdimensional gateways. While we don't exactly know how to open a portal to another dimension, there is evidence the phenomenon could exist. And now it seems that science may be catching on to the possibility. Typically, portal areas have some type of electromagnetic significance and are located near large deposits of quartz or other minerals with piezoelectric properties. So it came as less of a surprise when NASA announced in 2012 that the University of Iowa physicist Jack Scudder found hard evidence of portals created by the interaction between the Earth and Sun's magnetospheres. These portals are extremely volatile and unpredictable, opening and closing in a matter of an instant. But Scudder found markers called X points or electron diffusion regions, which allowed NASA probes to locate and study them. Thus, it launched the Magnetospheric Multiscale Mission, or MMS, which mapped how two celestial bodies' magnetic fields connect, disconnect, and explosively transfer energy, subsequently opening portals. For now, only electrons have been observed to travel through these portals, generating auroras and the occasional magnetic storm near Earth's poles. But this discovery could be the key to uncovering the function of some of the legendary portals on Earth that are said to act as gateways to other dimensions. And then it goes on to a different section called interdimensional portals. The interdimensional portal has long been a device of science fiction, but it also finds its place within myriad ancient cultures. According to Freddie Silva, throughout history, we've slowly lost our connection to the Earth, but in times of antiquity, people were able to naturally distinguish energetic fields and hotspots across the land. Our ancestors identified particular places considered energetically anomalous, and in these areas, one finds either a succession of temples or a temple that has withstood the test of time. Silva points to a number of Gothic cathedrals built on grounds originally identified by pagans as being sacred. These energetic locales are considered Sacrosanct because they represent areas where our inner temple, the mind, is able to access higher states of consciousness, connecting with extra dimensional entities or invoking out of body experiences. Whether these areas always represented dimensional portals for the mind or a portal for the physical body is up for debate. Graham Hancock references the many stories of native shamans traversing planes of consciousness through the use of psychedelic substances such as ayahuasca. With this ecstatic state, shamans report meeting teachers and guides who provide advice and wisdom for living within the everyday realm of our existence. But Hancock also says he believes it is worth considering that there may be something otherworldly to these portal areas, something beyond materialist comprehension. One location that seems to fit the description is Puerta de Hayumarca in Peru. Situated on a plateau just off the western banks of Lake Titicaca, Puerto de Hayumarca translates to the Gate of the Gods. Reaching 23 feet in both height and width, Hayumarca appears to be a doorway to nowhere carved into a rock face in a remote area known as the Valley of the Spirits or the Stone Forest. This is a really fucking long article. Anyway,
1000% this was written by a crystal girl.
definitely. I do believe that it is possible that ancient civilizations unlocked something like that.
Man, I don't doubt it. I mean, like we know they tell on themselves in art and
For sure.
movies and stuff like that. So I mean, I really believe Stargate was them telling on themselves a lot.
Yeah, I definitely. I think ancient civilizations had a lock on high strangeness stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
And I just think it's so. I think we're so, as modern humans, I think we're so cocky. Going, oh yeah, they're stupid. They just had, tools made
Yeah,
out of
these
sticks and stones.
but bro, these motherfuckers that had nothing figured out how to make metal tools, metal weapons, and then just keep going from there. I mean, did they have help? Who knows? But I mean, at the same time, if not, they figured that shit out. And then also, I learned something new. Do you know how many days a year the average peasant in medieval England worked?
No,
152.
really.
The church felt to have a docile populace that respected the crown and the church, they needed frequent holidays and frequent time off from actually working.
That's a great idea.
Bro, I'm just saying, I get back on this religion train if it got me more vacation days.
No shit, right? Yeah, one of my theories is that if you think about the ancient alien hypothesis, or whatever you want to call it, the theory, the ancient alien theory, if these beings did come down, you have to think about how far away, allegedly, how far away the nearest star system that holds planets that could potentially sustain life is far enough where they would have to travel through time or interdimensionally to make it here in a reasonable amount of time, unless they make that journey for millennia, to get here. But I think that, potentially civilizations that are millions of years, thousands of years, whatever, advanced than us, figured that shit out, came here and helped us learn that technology. And then I think they started seeing, how hostile humans can get when they get a little power. You know what I mean? And then I think due to whatever cataclysm, I think the cataclysm that wiped out our ancient civilizations that were more advanced than we are, I think the aliens backed up and said, man, these guys are kind of fucking hostile and they do some crazy shit when they're given a little power. I don't think we should help them out anymore. And then we created the bomb and they're like, oh shit, now we got to go in there and play God and teach these motherfuckers not to blow themselves up. I really think they had a hand. I think that there's the ancient alien theory, I think that there's something to that.
See, I feel like they didn't get involved until recently. I think they wouldn't. I feel like if there was a galactic or intergalactic federation or governing body out there, they'd have a rule or a law against interfering with non-developed species.
Yeah. Have you
I
heard of the
mean,
Galactic Federation that kind of governs that shit?
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. If
Yeah.
if that's real,
Yeah.
if that's really out there, then I would assume that we're not even supposed to be like knowing they're around yet.
Yeah. The one reason why I still lean towards the alien thing was how many ancient civilizations, either they're really good guessers or they had a knowledge of the stars that was impossible back then
Yeah.
without telescopes and fucking going in space. I mean, we've got these crazy telescopes now that we're just seeing the farthest we've ever seen. And yet, to the naked eye, there's a lot of things that these ancient civilizations were putting on their stone tablets that there's no way they could see with the naked eye.
Oh no, I completely agree. Like
So how do they do that without alien intervention? How?
the bad boys of the alien world.
Fuck. It's
Like
just
we're gonna. Well, I mean, you gotta think about it, like in ancient Greece, yeah, ancient Greece mythology. I can't remember the name of the god, but he got punished for giving us fire. Oh, what was his name?
I don't remember.
But no, so he got punished for giving us fire. Zeus had him chained to a rock, and buzzards would pick out his guts every day, and then he'd be healed.
What a
Dude,
great life.
oh man, no, he was punished. But I can't remember the name. But yeah, so I mean, what if that was humanity's way of coping or dealing with the fact of the alien that started giving them technology was punished? I mean,
Yeah.
they would see aliens as gods. Clearly, we've noticed that.
Very true. I, you know, definitely. I think if they were given knowledge, I think they were given just enough that wouldn't completely melt their brains.
Right.
Because I mean, you look at some of these photos, the alleged photos from deep, deep space, and I'm just like, holy shit, it's just mind-boggling. But I don't know. There's something there. E- I mean, I suppose over tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of years, maybe we've evolved to be that smart. Like I said earlier, we don't give enough credit. We're kind of cocky these days. They could very well have been that smart, but there's certain things where I'm just like, like, fuck, look at all the ancient civilizations and the ancient structures that are built with machinery that they allegedly didn't have back then.
Yeah.
And there are no remnants. All we have are these megalithic structures that stick around and the stories that they carve in walls.
I think you're right, Dutch guys. I think it is Prometheus that gave us fire and started our technological advancements.
Could very well be.
But no, I agree with you, Chris. I mean,
there's something there. There's a piece of our history missing that would answer everything. You know what I mean? And something tells me that Dr. Matt, I can't keep looking at it. We should just start putting like PhD and shit in case anybody that doesn't know us tunes into the show and they're like, what the fuck is this? These doctors were talking about sticking their dicks in portals. Oh man. Jesus Christ.
One guy doesn't look like he's working out of a lab.
But there's a piece of history that is missing, and I question whether or not the government knows the answer. What do you think? Do you think the government knows our history, our true history? Do you think the government knows?
I'm gonna say not the whole government.
Okay, but certain compartments within.
I'll say a few very top level guys. No. Just due to the fact of the average person wouldn't be able to handle it.
Sure. How do they handle it though? What makes them more special than you and I?
They're probably cloned and taught it all from a young age.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if you're part of the elite, you educate your children young of what the world really is, and then you have to educate them that we're special and everybody else is just sheep. Okay?
Yeah.
This information, they can't handle it. We're special people. It's in our bloodlines. You know what I mean? I could just see that being the conversation. Um,
Oh,
but
for real? Like, what was it? Aeon Flux.
I think the one with what's her face?
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Or
yeah.
you can go with the anime that MTV did.
I did not see that one.
It was a well, I say anime. It was a very anime style, but it was an MTV original production, based off the comic books, and that was the whole premise.
Really?
Was the population went sterile, and until the head scientist guys could figure out what was going on, they just kept rotating everybody out as clones.
Yeah.
And they would clone themselves when they started to get older and raise those clones and teach them everything that they'd gotten done up to that point, and then they'd go again. And they'd done it for hundreds upon hundreds of years.
Interesting.
So they were the only two that knew. Everybody else was in the dark. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just pisses me off because I feel like if the world knew, those that couldn't handle it, they're not going to be able to handle. They can't handle life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Open-minded people like us and the people in the chat, I think we'd be okay. And I think we go, okay, well, fuck, we have a new reality to deal with, but we kind of had an idea that this is what was going on. The sooner they tell us, the easier the softer the blow's going to be, I think.
I mean, for sure, but again,
there's going to be fallout, no doubt about it.
Oh, there would be a unprecedented fallout.
Yeah, it's the forbidden knowledge theory. They've got forbidden knowledge from the rest of us.
Yeah.
Which I just feel robbed because I feel like none of us are living our true lives if we don't know the truth. You know what I mean?
I hate to break it to you, but I'm fine. I'm fine not knowing.
It's true. Do you how would your life change if you found out that all that shit was true?
It wouldn't. I would keep going about my day to day, building
Sure.
my truck,
Yeah.
building my engine, and
Yeah.
just keep going. But the thing of it is, I would also pretend like I never heard it.
Sure.
Now let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase my answer here. Are you asking that on how my life would change if everyone found out, or just me?
If it was just released and they said, "All right, this is what we know. We can't keep the secret much longer, and we only kept it a secret for what we thought was everyone's own good, but we decided that the best thing to do would be to let everybody figure out their own truth. But here's what we know."
Okay. In that case, my entire household would get lessons on double tap, and we would get ready for our grocery trip.
Yeah.
Because the world's ending. But if it was just me knowing,
yeah,
wouldn't nobody ever know if I knew?
Yeah. There's a certain level of truth where I'm just like, I can't tell anybody because it's like, fuck. I wouldn't want it to affect them negatively because I think if I knew the truth, I think my whole perspective on how I go about life would be a little bit different. I think materialistic things wouldn't be as important, especially if I found out that, heaven and hell do exist. And, there's a lot of things that I could learn that would, not that I'm a bad guy, but I mean, if I found out that there was really, some gates and a big book and you get to review your life and then they have to sit there and judge you and be like, we're going to have to give you a 4 out of 10, Chris. You really fucked up in a couple of these places. And what's with all the jacking off? What's going on here? You know what I mean? There's just so much. I don't know what I would do if I had concrete evidence of, judgment or aliens. I want to
Chris,
believe, but I don't know if I want to believe. You know what I mean?
I hate to break it to you, but we're too old to change where we're going now.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to sit down and watch to watch a review. But at the same time, it'd be like, I was there.
That I was just thinking that. I was like, "Fuck, been there, done that, homie. What else you got?"
Yeah, I was there. Now, like, you want to watch a review? Let me see all of the times Brady got sacked. Like, let's do that review.
I would love it if they pulled up a YouTube channel that you didn't even know existed about you, and they're like, it's like Matt Monroe's greatest hits. It's just fucking Matt on there. Oh
Right?
man.
Oh man, I would love it. They'd be like, these are all your best jokes.
Yeah. These are all the times you brought real happiness to people. I'd be like, all right, cool. Can we keep the dark shit out of it?
Like, I would legitimately hope that it would take days to watch that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
You're all
There's
looking
all-
at the length of the video and you're like 6 minutes. Fuck. Like, damn, that's pathetic. Oh shit.
Get to the end, get there, and they're like, these are all the times you made people happy, and it's like one clip,
Yeah.
and
God.
it's me going into the fucking ground.
Shit.
I'd be
Oh.
like,
But I don't know. It's just this whole podcast is really like obviously all this stuff has been in my brain, but the more I think about it, the more I just feel gypped. I'm like, fuck, man. I just want to know what's real and what's bullshit. That's
I'll
all
give
I
you that.
ask.
I'll
Fuck.
give you that. I mean,
It
it'd be
bothers
nice
me
to know.
because I feel like you live your whole life not knowing the truth of humanity. Like I don't know. It feels like a robbery, to be honest.
I mean,
But
I agree with you, but at the same time,
it doesn't matter.
it doesn't really bother me that much. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I've made it almost 40 years
Yeah.
without knowing this, and I mean, I'm doing all right. Doing okay.
For me, the biggest thing that bothers me is the melt or the mind melting thoughts that I have when I go down my own rabbit holes. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I wouldn't spend so much fucking time on this if I just knew the truth. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's that. I mean, what I'd say my biggest problem is how open to just being mediocre the generations coming behind us are. Like, the generations coming behind us do no longer aspire to be great individuals. They just want to get by.
Seems like that, doesn't it?
It bugs the shit out of me because it's like, be great. Like,
Yeah.
you are the first generation to have this much technology at your fingertips
Yeah.
from day one. You can be the greatest of anything, and yet you are all settling for mediocrity. Like, they have this whole quiet quitting bullshit now. They have all this, like, I mean, I swear to God, quiet quitting, get the fuck out of here. Like, you want to be rewarded for just showing up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, everyone talked about millennials being the churn out of participation trophies. You're seeing it now in this Gen Alpha or Gen Z or whatever the fuck they are in the
Yeah.
alphabet. Now they're like, no, I should just get a raise because I showed up every day.
Oh yeah, they're entitled as fuck.
I'm just like, should you? Should you? No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that employers don't need to do better too. But I mean, you guys are going about it the wrong way by putting over social media that you're doing your quiet quitting.
Yeah.
And you're just doing the bare minimum to get by. That's called mediocrity, and you should not be okay with being mediocre.
Absolutely not. I don't know. I do know exactly what you're talking about though. I don't know. I like the be great thing. I don't know. I wouldn't want to live a life of of that.
Bro, I can tell you right now, I've even told you, this truck right here is it should be a mediocre truck. I aspire for it to be famous.
Yeah. As everyone should. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess not everybody's like that. A lot of people I've met people that don't give a fuck. They just want to go about their life. They want to have the routine and they just want to be a worker bee, which I can respect. If that's what they want to do, go ahead.
Right. Oh, but I mean that should be the exception, not the rule.
No, 100%.
Like people have got to want to be great. You can't sit back. I mean, I understand now, and I'm not trying to get on a political soapbox because I don't like talking politics with people. I really don't. Just because you usually end up not liking what you hear back from some people.
Sure.
But I will put this out there because I am a staunch patriot. That being said, I do not love what my country is. I love what she has the potential to be.
Yeah. And that's why I find it hilarious that people are offended by the statement. Now, keep the guy out of it, but make America great again. I feel I'm offended that people are offended by that.
We look. I understand. We've had our stumbles. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's it is it's a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem, but I mean, we used to be the pillar, the beacon of what people could be.
Yeah.
Like and everybody, when you say "Make America Great Again," everybody automatically goes, "We were never great," and they throw back to the extreme racism of the
Yeah.
40s, 50s, and 60s
Yeah.
and whatnot. They go back to that. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the 90s, like the 80s, the 90s.
There was a period of
Greatness.
time where we were just accelerating. And I talk about my
Cocaine was
childhood all the time because it was
everywhere.
amazing.
Gas was gas was
Yeah.
not an issue. People were just having a damn time of
Yeah.
it.
And I know that Joe Rogan's talked about this, and I've heard it talked about before, but after 9/11, when everybody was like, "Hoorah, America." You know what I mean? People in New York were nice to each other, which is crazy. You know what I mean? And it
I
was like
I I will always remember 9/11 as a tragedy, but I crave the America that existed on 9/12.
100%. 100%. Um, if we could just get that way as like a human race, you know what I mean? Like, hoorah, humans, let's all do better. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
I mean, absolutely. Like a lot of people. I mean, man, I get confused for an extreme conservative a lot of times, which is not the case.
yeah.
I'm very much a libertarian. I believe the government's way too big. I believe we are just a tax farm. We are taxed to death. We should not be
Oh, for
paying.
sure.
So either the income tax needs to go, or the taxes on everything after income tax needs to go.
Mhm.
We should not be being taxed on income that's already been taxed
Yeah. It's
for
criminal.
goods that have already been
Yeah.
taxed.
Yeah. It's 100% criminal. I couldn't agree more.
So I mean, it's just
I also don't like as far as corporations go, like, get it from them and shit. But like, if you're super successful in your life and you've made the right moves and you make a lot of money, the idea that you get taxed more because you're more successful is kind of ridiculous to me. I think there should just be a flat tax.
see now there's some people that feel like we should really go after the top 1%. And what I hate to break to people is we go after them, guess what they're going to do? We're seeing it right now when they undid Trump's tax breaks. They raised the prices of everything to make up the loss of money from the higher taxes.
Sure.
They're not going to not make money. Like somebody got mad about Musk charging $8 for Twitter verification.
Right?
So, here's my thing. I was like, so the dude's officially the richest African to ever exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, ever. He spent $44 billion for a product. Why would you not want him to try to make money off of it?
No.
Like, he's not put back anybody controversial. He hasn't had anybody back that's controversial. He's just unbanned people that spoke for what their views were. The people that were banned for legitimate reasons, he hasn't added them back. I don't even think he's turned Trump back on.
I don't think so either.
I'm just saying he is doing what he said he was going to do. It is an equal speaking ground for everyone to share thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, there goes the entitlement though. We got to pay $8 a man, come on.
You charge $300 for a speaking engagement.
Yeah. It really is ridiculous.
Did you see the somebody did buy a verification check mark and changed their name to a pharmaceutical company and sent out a tweet saying all their insulin is now free?
I did not see that.
The company lost $30 billion in 8 hours.
Oh my God.
From all their shareholders jumping ship.
Wow. That's insane. Oh, well,
Like, you gotta love the trolling. Like, and that's what I said. That's what I tell people. I was like, I love the fact that he's on there just trolling people. Like, he is firing people with memes.
oh Jesus, I didn't know that.
It's great. It is amazing. I love that the media is now asking for an amnesty for all the ridiculous shit they said during COVID.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah, they're like, we need amnesty for what we said while we were all in the dark. It's like, nah, dude.
No, you were in the dark because your overlords were telling you what to say instead of having your own minds and being able to speak free like we should as human beings.
Dude, it's wild. It's a wild west out there right now. Just a lot less lynchings and shootings.
It is, but at least we know portals are real, right?
1000% maybe.
1000% maybe. All right, guys, we're getting into an hour and a half. I do want to play this 15-minute video of some VFX artists debunking ghost footage because I'm curious to see what they say.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, we talked about portals. We got into politics a little bit, which we normally don't do on the show, but it's all good natured. You know what I mean? It's not like we're bashing anybody really, except for these new pussies that are. I'm just kidding.
These entitled quiet.
It's
quitting.
bad. Yeah, it's bad. Let me get this queued up here. All right. I'm actually really excited about this. I haven't seen this video, but it looked legit. So hopefully I don't blow it. And hopefully this is a good video. Here we go.
Ghosts caught on camera. Hopefully we can convince you that these are fake.
And if visual effects are at play. And you can hold my hand if you want to. I'll be honest, this one's pretty good.
Bro, these are ones that I've called out too.
What is a ghost? Nico, have you ever seen a ghost or had a ghostly premonition?
No, I don't believe in ghosts. All of my experiences can be 100% explained with science.
I actually haven't either. I totally have not. I know that people out there, when they have an experience like this, they swear.
The Babadook.
So while we don't have that emotional connection to these clips, we do have a few years of VFX experience under our belt. Hopefully we can convince you that these are fake.
As visual effects artists, we can analyze the pixels, figure out if we are looking at real ghost footage and if visual effects are at play. We're not going to get into arguments about what happens after you die or anything like that. Leave that up to the frothy comment section down below. So some of these videos have like 20 million views.
I'm just imagining the person who watches like 1 or 2 ghost videos, and then the YouTube algorithm's just like, you like ghosts, huh?
Yeah.
Ghost videos. It's about to happen to you after seeing this video.
Sorry.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. What do we have here? Ghosts caught on camera. All right.
We watched this one.
Okay, so the ghost is into place. So first off, okay, it's a ghost. So a ghost is a person. You have to pick up the spoon and ghostly throw it. You don't go like ghost spider web to a spoon and then yank it across the room. That's what it seems like. This is like Ghost Spider-Man who wants a spoon. Okay, so obviously option A, ghosts are real. The end. Option B, I have a pretty good feeling we're just looking at some strings pulling stuff. All right, now we have a lot of focus on this drawer.
It's one of the drawers that's quite well framed in the shot. Not any of the other drawers in the kitchen.
Exactly, but also think about this too now. If you're going to tug on that with a string, you only have 2 locations you can do it. You don't want to contaminate the space by standing in the room, creating unnecessary like shadow or something like that. So you're either hiding behind that door or you're off frame right around the camera. Not frame right around the camera, just so happens to be the direction that most of these objects are traveling.
The door that opens also follows that same logic.
There's probably a dude. Sorry. There's a dude around frame right, and he's got 2 little strings from fishing line, something small, and one's attached to the handle of the drawer. The other one is already attached to the silverware inside it.
I can't see any evidence of visual effects, but this would be so easily faked that you have to go with the more plausible explanation. Their whole TikTok is ghost related, by the way. So really, here's the question. Is the influencer Ben and Lainey, or is it the ghosts?
I mean, is the ghost getting a cut?
Okay, there's this one.
Ooh, I like that one.
Ooh.
Oh, that's just some guy vaping out of his car window. I'll be honest, this one's pretty good.
But look out, there's some smoke on the front left bumper too. See?
I don't think it's smoke.
If it's smoke, it's not dissipating the way smoke should.
The little flicker of white at the bottom corner of the screen on the car's bumper, it feels like it's something really close to the lens that's out of focus.
Well, it's a crappy infrared sensor too, so you might get some sort of streaking or trails.
I do not see evidence of visual effects here.
No.
Could we remake this effect? Yeah, we totally could. Like, this is something you could do in visual effects, and you can have it be flawless and be hard to see how it's made. But the other things, like, would a VFX artist think to just put a random little blob down by the car's bumper? No, they probably wouldn't. You know, that kind of stuff is very accidental. Oh, you know, I think I figured out what it is. This could be like a porch or something like that. It could have something above it, and somebody could have just stomped on the ground, and a little bit of dust went from up in the rafters and just floated by. And it's only like a few feet away from the camera. So you have dust coming off the left too.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh, you got it. You got it. You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
All right, moving on. No ghost.
Matt and I were like, super compelling video.
It's funny, like once you like get it and you see it, you're like, oh, that's it. You just know.
Shitty camera.
Shitty camera.
I think they watched the same compilation that we
This
did.
is just low shutter speed.
It's a low shutter speed on an infrared sensor. Look at the particles streaking. So this is the trailing effect I'm talking about. You see like dust streaking across the lens here?
With
If you
the
look at footage of
37
old video
driveway
it
cameras.
happens all the time with hotspots as well. Either we're dealing with trailing artifacts on the infrared sensor or a low shutter speed.
But not just like having a low shutter, but having a shutter that's kind of like averaging or putting together these long exposures. Like,
Yeah.
most cameras take a frame 24 times a second or 30 times a second. But sometimes you need so much light that you can only capture a frame, say, once every half second or once every second. Something like the background, which isn't moving, will appear really solid, but the person who's moving is basically just turning into a big motion blur as they keep going across.
The reason he's disappearing over there is because the only reason he's being illuminated is because the camera itself is pushing out infrared light into the space for it to pick up, for the sensor itself to detect. And once you start getting that far away, you're leaving that natural area of where the infrared light is. Because look how bright everything is.
Whoa, interesting.
His camera's getting screwed up.
That's a cool like data mosh effect going on. Okay, I wonder if this is just the codec glitching out and not updating parts of the image as the person walks through it. So the parts that say static, basically the computer goes, okay, I'm just gonna give you a picture. And you just hold this picture until I tell you that there's new data there. And that's basically how it saves space in terms of compressing the video. So like the house, the tree, everything around here that's not moving, it's basically just a still picture that's been told to just stay on frame for as long as possible. And so as this person gets close, it could be glitching out and keeping some of that there and not updating it with new information. Because it's dark and you just have one tiny little moving thing on screen, it could be that it's just too little movement to trigger the codec to create a new keyframe, basically to add new data to it or to add new data to that block.
What you're about to witness on this video can only be described as an assault.
These two fine gentlemen were minding their own business in the stairwell when they were brutally assaulted by a ghost.
He then endures a very brief but very aggressive session of some paranormal ground and pound.
Paranormal ground and pound.
All right, so visual effects. We finally have some visual effects. This one's really straightforward. It's pretty clearly a locked off camera. The guys go and they do their first pass, and then their friend goes and does the second pass as the ghost. And they just literally layer the footage on top and make it transparent, and then run all of this through the crappiest, most degrading color grade and color filters and smudge and blur and all that stuff. This is a useless security camera if this is actually what it looks like. No one would ever put a security camera in a stairwell like this that has zero light and can't get you an image.
Paranormal Ground and Pound was great.
That ghost. Imagine being that ghost though, and your unfinished business was kicking the shit out of that guy. There's one guy I got to mount and deliver a paranormal ground and pound to. It's like, yes, I finally kicked Kevin's ass.
The following clip was filmed while my mom and I were on vacation. We decided to leave our cats home alone for the few nights we would be gone.
Jesus Christ! That cat.
Oh, this is creepy.
We've seen this one
The
before.
mirror adds a nice cinematic touch. Oh, there's a second cat.
And you can hold my hand if you want.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, so the first thing that jumps out to me is this being fake. If you look closely at the table when it shakes, you can see that it's been composited in because you can see it fade in and out over the background footage. So they filmed that separately and then stuck it on top of the footage that they have there. So the VFX there basically debunked this whole shot, but let's take a look at the rest of it and see what else stands out as evidence of this being faked. So the shadow in the hallway, based on the reflection, the light casting that shadow is on the ground around the corner. So somebody set up a light on the floor, and most people don't put their lights on the floors. Also, the door gets pulled shut in the same spot from where the person was casting the shadow. How convenient that the things that get moved get pulled towards where the people would be. The camera getting knocked off the shelf is unique. I would assume that somebody else is in this room with a string. One of the things is they don't show you the end of the shot. Like, if the camera kept recording and was pointing at the wall, why not continue the shot until it points at the wall?
Yeah.
In fact, what's more likely is the camera fell off the shelf.
And then it fell, and then there's like a dude right by the table. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess we'll cut this part.
Secondly, the cat that comes around the corner and looks at us happens to look in the direction of where the table was shaking. In other words, if there's a person hiding in this room calling the cat, they would have to be below the camera in order to shake the table, call the cat who happens to look in this direction, and then pull a string or whatever and knock the camera down. The cat's motion on the left really implies that there's a person by the table / camera.
See, look at that cat look at the person on the floor.
Oh.
Looking at the camera a little bit.
Ears twitch.
Hear the ears twitching?
Ears twitch back up.
See, yeah,
back.
the cat gave us a clue.
So even though this is a fake clip, I still actually really like it. Staged or not, the cat cacting is really well done.
That was a pent-up scream from all these scares. The only way I can keep a clear head is if I let tiny screams out occasionally. Ooh, a door has opened.
Ooh.
Let's see if something else moves now. That's usually how it goes. I feel like we're gonna get a locker slam. Yeah. That convenient window there. It's only mysterious if people like us can't just look at it and go, oh yeah, there's a window there where someone could easily reach through and wiggle that thing.
Come on, ghost.
Spooky face. Is it gonna be the slippery sign? Yeah, called it.
Wow, that ghoster has some good dramatic timing.
Yeah.
The ghost slipped.
That was the ghost slipping.
I can't believe this person got 20 million views in this video.
What are we doing?
As a professional YouTuber for over a decade, when I see a video like this that gets 20 million views, and I think about how much work we put into our videos, sometimes it's tough. That's the real scary moral of this situation. This is probably a real camera that they just stuck up on like a ladder.
Yeah, actually pause.
You can see an actual security camera, it looks like.
Exactly. And you can see how high they are mounting these cameras. So just that alone right there kind of puts this one to bed.
This camera is literally at the height of picture frames. This camera is as high as this. It's like, have you ever seen a security camera mounted at like just above head level?
Yeah, just someone back there slamming a door. There's literally a window right there, which provides a perfect entry point to push on that locker. And then strings, bro. We can talk about strings all day, but
strings are great. You can do a lot with strings. Like, you're out there like, I need a really good computer to do visual effects. Like, no, just literally black thread.
Like, when I watch the stuff, I'm like, I'm not even trying to analyze it for VFX. I'm just going, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a ghost. Like, I'm a ghost. I go to school. I'm like, slam, shake, randomly open a door. Some stuff falls out. It's like, what are you doing? So then he slips on the floor. Like, are ghosts just drunk? I want to help recreate what a ghost does when it goes into a house. It's just like, yeah, I'm a ghost. Like, what are you doing? Just bumping into crap.
Alright, so after recording this video, I heard some really weird noises from this hallway. Maybe somebody's just playing a prank on us. I grabbed my sound recorder. Let's go in there, see what we can discover. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I'm hearing something. Hold on, I gotta turn it up. Oh, great spirits, if you are there, make yourself known.
I've really been enjoying CordoDigital.com. No ads, early access to exclusive videos. Cinema Dungeon is freaking awesome.
Oh, great spirits who do not rest in peace, why are you so agitated?
Crew Cut Season 2 is dropping.
The signal's coming from this room. All right, let's go.
All
Let's
right.
check it out.
Well, there you have it. I thought it was interesting.
Oh, very interesting.
I like their attention to detail because we reviewed most of those, including I don't know if I was alone or if that was with you too, but I've seen the school footage before. I feel like we reviewed that one.
We watched it together.
Yeah. There's
I called that one bogus too.
yeah. There's certain things where when shit is happening and there could potentially be someone outside of frame or outside of shot, you almost have to every time go, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After watching that video, I realize I have to be way more skeptical and way more attention, to detail oriented because the camera in the school, they're absolutely right. It's like level with, it's like 6 feet off the ground and you can see the other camera. Like, okay, well, show us the footage from the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I learned a couple things. I'm gonna have to watch these videos assuming they're fake now, and which I kind of do in the first place. But there's some that if you have no idea how that shit would work, or you're not that focused on attention, it would be easy to see a video like that and go, "Holy shit, that stuff moved."
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know.
But yeah, like the dish one, I figured that one was fake because it all like the spoon literally gets hung up as they're pulling the string.
Yeah, and it would be easy to put. I mean, you could kill two birds with one stone. You just put a string on the spoon, and when you pull that string, the drawer is going to open, and then the spoon's going to fly out. So
yeah,
the cat video was interesting because I think we've seen that one before, and
I hadn't seen that one before.
Really, I probably reviewed it by myself, and I was like, "Oh, look how these fucking cats! They're totally animals can totally fucking see ghosts." So I know I was fucking all on board on that one, fucking idiot. So for those of you watching or listening, just know that I'm a fucking moron. Okay, so
notice who has doctor and who doesn't.
Yeah. God, but it'll be interesting to look at these ghost compilation videos from now on with a different, for me, with a little bit more, because I like to look at stuff, and I've been looking at these videos with more imagination than I should. I need to start looking at them from a very skeptical, and just say, I gotta be honest right now. When I watch these videos, I've never thought, how would I fake this shit? You know what I mean? I've never started watching it going, how would I fake this shit?
I'm not gonna lie, it's really surprised me when I was the more skeptical one and you were more like, "Oh, dude, yeah." Like it really surprised me because I'm usually in our group, in any of my groups, I'm the, "Oh man, did you guys see this? It was incredible."
Yeah.
And coming into this, I've been way more skeptical than you on some of
100%.
these videos, and I'm just like, "Well, this is a real 180. I don't know how to be this guy."
No, and it's good because you've definitely reined me in a couple times, where there's been videos where I've been like wanting it to be real, like this is compelling shit, and you've totally just shit on it, and I've been like, he's fucking right. I'm not the believer type where if a skeptic comes in and shuts me the fuck down, I don't get all butthurt about it. Like, fuck, it's real, man. You're just saying that because you're a hater. You know what I mean? Like, I have to, and that's one fun part about this show is, being able to see this shit. And I've seen videos where I'm like, this has to be fake, but I'm like, it's super compelling. Like the one where the girl's in the box and the hand comes over her shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it looked legit, but then you go, the outside, it's like, well, the guy could have easily opened that end of the cupboard and reached in and just made sure his hand wasn't
Well,
seen.
I
You
mean,
know?
it could all been cut together and spliced together,
Yeah.
as well. But I mean, no, the one that it really hurt me to break the news that it had a logical reasoning behind
The
it was
plane. The
the
plane.
plane. That one hurt me. That one hurt me. I was like, oh, I don't want to tell him.
That one, actually, I was so happy that you debunked that, because I was like, fuck. And it just didn't occur to me. But as soon as you said that, I was like, yeah, no shit. Fuck, of course. You know? Um, it had to have been trippy for those people, because I can imagine I would have thought the same thing in real life if I looked up and heard the fucking plane and it's not moving. I would have been like, oh my God, what the fuck kind of alternate shit are we in right now?
They got him in a tractor beam.
Yeah. Before we shut this thing down, have you ever heard of the Gilliland Ranch?
No.
It's in Washington State. I'm gonna go investigate that place too, because it's open for people. It's right by Mount Adams.
Okay.
It's called Trout Lake, Washington. There's been an episode of Paranormal State there. Dave Schrader from Darkness Radio has been out there, and he's been on some shows, and I like his work. There's some shit in the sky out there. And there's a video of the fucking mountain, a hangar in the mountain opening up and closing. I have to go there and see this shit for myself.
All right. So I'll be hosting the show by myself from now on. Okay.
uh, I I've seen some compelling shit from that place. Very interesting to see things moving in the sky and videos of black helicopters and shit. I think I'm on board with a couple of the theories out there that it's military shit.
Very well could be.
They're shining those high-powered green lasers at these things, and sometimes they pulsate back like they're answering. And I'm like, somebody, I forget who it was. I was watching a video and they're like, could you imagine the fucking Air Force pilot in there going, let's fuck with these guys? Just look at these guys flashing their lasers. They think we're fucking aliens, dude. You know what I mean? I would totally get off on fucking with them.
My thing is, you mean to tell me you think you found a secret military base or some aliens doing some shit?
Yeah.
And your first goddamn instinct is, I'm gonna hit him with a laser pointer.
Yeah, I mean, if you know Dr. Stephen Greer, he does Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, and he goes out with people with lasers and shit, and they do some meditation and bring in these fucking things. And apparently, it has worked. I would like to experience that myself.
All right, man. Good luck. Have fun.
I abduct me, probe me, please. I will be on this show going, my ass hurts. I got probed. Guys, do not fuck with those aliens. Do not shine lasers at the aliens.
They broke my starfish.
I am not proud of what they did to me. But it happened. But yeah, I'm looking into a lot of locations, and I'm gathering a few people that, don't be scared of the dark.
I saw you had some folks interested.
There's a few, yeah. We'll see. My buddy Leo, he reached out to me privately, and he's like, he threw out a couple locations, and he's a Marine. So I was like, all right, Leo. And he's a funny character, because he's I wish I had more time to explain what kind of person he is, but I would love to go ghost hunting with him, because I think he'd be perfect for it, because I think we'd get some funny footage of him. So it'll be fun. I'm hoping to get this going sometime in 2023. Hopefully, if I have enough money, Matt, I'll fly out to Arkansas. We'll go somewhere like that hotel you were talking about.
Oh yeah, we'll go hit the Crescent. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll put together some stuff we can go do.
Yeah, do a little research too, and see what places will actually let us do some investigation. Some places are a little weird about that, but
we have a battleground that I think they let you do investigations on.
No shit.
From the Civil War, Pea Ridge.
Really? What's it called?
Pea Ridge Military Park.
Interesting. And that's in Arkansas?
It's like 20 minutes from me. 20, 30 minutes.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it would add a fun layer to the show of if we did get any evidence to play it on the show and talk about it. Because
Oh man,
and we still got to do so. We got to do some fakery shit. I want to see if we can fake something.
I'm telling next time we are together, I'll bring a kit. I'll bring some string and some other stuff. I'll put the kit together, and we'll see if we can't just put together a top-notch fake video at the Airbnb.
Yeah, I want to see if we can make it to the point where, because it's all these videos seems like they can be put into question.
Yeah.
I need evidence of the paranormal that is irrefutable. And I think the only way I'll get that is if I actually see something for myself.
Yeah, I think I mean I agree. I think if you're gonna believe it, and you need to experience it.
I mean, take away all your experiences that you've had. How would you feel about ghosts? Would you still think they're real? Or would you be super skeptical?
No, I'd still believe there's something more
Yeah.
to what happens to us.
Do you think you would have a mission to see it for yourself?
No, I'm not one
No?
to seek it out.
Yeah, I am.
I know you are. I'll support you in it. Scott, he lives in Bella Vista. He's like 15 minutes north of me. He just said he'll go.
Fucking A, Scott. All right. We'll get together with Mr. Scott and go down there and go do some ghost hunting. Yeah, I believe, but I gotta cement that belief. I gotta make sure that I'm not too crazy. I gotta hear some wood knocks and some screams too. I gotta go Bigfoot hunting too. So there's definitely and I've got a really good friend at work who is definitely a Bigfoot guy. So we're probably gonna go Bigfoot hunting together. It'll be funny too because
I'm
me and
telling you
him are
right now,
hilarious
you
together.
better not get in the woods down here around me. I'll disappear on your ass. You'll just hear.
Oh man. Yeah, it'll be fun. So do some research. See what's around there. That we could hit up that would be reasonably inexpensive aside from the plane tickets for me to get out there. We'll get a rental and we'll go get some footage. It'll be fun.
I'm in. It's gonna be a good time.
Definitely. On that note, guys, it is 9 p.m. Pacific time. And we've gone 2 hours once again. Thank you for joining us on Talking Paranormal. If you're listening to this show right now and you're in Washington State, hit me up. Let's go ghost hunting.
If you're listening to the show right now in Arkansas and you know somewhere for us to go ghost hunt, hit me up.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see here. Let's look at the list real quick. Got a couple minutes. The Philadelphia experiment is next on the list.
Okay, that one I'm gonna have to do some research on.
Yeah, let's do some research on that. If it's the Philadelphia experiment that I'm thinking of, it's where the guy got caught in the wall when they tried to make a ship disappear and go invisible. And apparently it worked. And when it came back, a guy was like stuck in the wall of the ship.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I think that's the Philadelphia experiment. Let me just make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. I noticed that on certain things that have a title like the Philadelphia experiment, you get movies that have been made, and the movies tend to clog up your search results. And I'm like, I think that's intentional.
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Yep. Oh, here we go. The Philadelphia experiment. The Philadelphia experiment was an alleged event claimed to have been witnessed by an ex-merchant mariner called Carl M. Allen at the United States Navy's Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in Philadelphia. Sometime around October 28, 1943, Allen described an experiment where the U.S. Navy attempted to render invisible the destroyer escort USS Eldridge and the bizarre results that followed. Very interesting. Allen's account of the event is widely understood to be a hoax. Several different and sometimes contradictory versions of the alleged experiment have circulated over the years in paranormal literature and popular movies. The U.S. Navy maintains that no such experiment was ever conducted, and that the details of the story contradict well-established facts about the USS Eldridge, and that the physics of the experiment is claimed to be based on the physics the experiment is claimed to be based on is non-existent. So we'll look into that, but the experiment was allegedly based on an aspect of some unified field theory, a term coined by Albert Einstein to describe a class of potential theories. Such theories would aim to describe mathematically and physically the interrelated nature of the forces of electromagnetism and gravity. In other words, uniting their respective fields into a single field, to apparently render a ship invisible.
Huh, okay.
So we'll look into that a little bit, do some research. I'll try to find a good... I like finding YouTube videos that explain shit so I don't have to sit there and fucking read a script. So I'll see what I can find, but let me just take a look in the chat real quick. Lance, all right. Yeah. We'll I would love to take a lot of the guys in this chat ghost hunting or
Oh
Bigfoot
my
hunting.
god, it would be the best fucking time.
Hey, mark my words. If this show ever gets monetized to the point where we could afford to do that, we'll get the hardcore handful. That's what you guys are, the hardcore handful. We'll bring you guys out and we'll all go.
I will gladly dedicate any of my profit of merch to getting everybody together.
Let me ask you guys in the chat right now. I'm curious. If I could lock down the Conjuring house for a 3-day weekend, who would be in to spend a weekend at the Conjuring house with Matt and I? Go live and do some ghost hunting in the house and in the woods. Right now in the chat, there's 7 of you guys watching. I want to see who would be up for that.
I want to know who the quiet people are that are watching.
I know how many of the regulars we have. We got Peckerwood 1, Lance 2, Scott 3, Dutch 4.
Scott.
I thought I said Scott. Did I not say Scott?
I was.
We've got a hardcore handful. We definitely have a hardcore handful. I think there's 2 that just.
Then Roland just sent out a little hand sign.
Roland, that's my Bigfoot buddy. Roland's been spying. Yeah, Roland, we're going Bigfoot hunting for sure. I don't know if he's saying he wants to go to the Conjuring house or if he wants to go Bigfoot hunting, but I'll do both. Scott, he'll do it. Scott's in. Peckerwood is in. Oh man.
Lance got real quiet.
Come on, guys. We have to have at least 3, and I think we got 3 on board.
Oh, we got more than 3.
That's it. That's the goal. We get monetized, and we all descend upon the Conjuring house, and I'll get haunted. Roland says he'll do both. Holy shit! All right, Roland. I knew he'd be a soldier. Roland, are you willing to go ghost hunting with me locally or what? Lance says nope.
Oh, I didn't know that nope applied to that. Okay, well, all right, Lance.
Damn, Lance is out. We still got a little handful. That's good. Roland replaced Lance in that handful of people. Okay. Well, let me just real quick before we shut the show down. I want to see how much it's going to cost us to do this. Oh shit! They're really
how much
doing
is it?
Hold on. Investigations. Here we go.
God, it's too damn cold. It's 24 degrees right now.
Okay, here we go. TheConjuringHouse.com is a real thing. And for overnight investigations, which you have to book, this is what it says. These investigations are designed as private events for groups of people, whether paranormal curious or experienced, who want to experience the house and its activity on their own as a group without the guidance of an investigator. These nights have been popular with curious folks who want to spend the night with some friends and paranormal investigation teams who want to explore the phenomena of the property. These bookings are for the entire home and access to the land. We do not provide any ghost hunting equipment. Don't worry, I will. These nights will be experienced as you design the night for yourself and your other guests. The rates are Sunday through Thursday is $960 fucking dollars a night for up to 6 people. Friday and Saturday night are $1,280 a night for up to 8 people and $160 a person for additional guests. Maximum guests is 12. Duration is 13 hours.
Okay. What if
This is actually very possible. That's not bad.
I was gonna say, what if instead of Conjuring, we hit Waverly?
The sanitarium?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, this one is considerably cheaper. Waverly might be the one, guys. Okay, I'm on the waverlyhills.com. Let's see here. Reservations.
Lance, I don't blame you, man. That's why I'm trying to just wave him towards Waverly instead of The Conjuring.
Why? What does it say? What does he say?
Oh, he's like, I don't plan on inviting anything extra in my house. I don't blame you.
I would be taking steps to make sure that doesn't happen myself personally.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, let's see here. Waverly Hills 6-hour public investigation. September through December. Let me see here. Oh, there's a private overnight. That might be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a private overnight. Minimum of 10 people for a private overnight.
Nah, fuck.
Yeah, that would be kind of hard to get. But you can go on a public investigation. And let's see what prices are for $90 a person.
Okay.
Investigation, approximately 60 fucking people, but that's okay. That's 59 other people I need to outrun in case I get attacked. Oh. Interesting. That's not bad.
No. I bet we could scare up 10. I bet you we could scare up some folks.
10 people? It's a matter of getting them to fucking Kentucky, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Waverly's. I forgot Waverly's in Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys pay your way to Kentucky, I'll gladly pay for everybody's fucking. What would that be? $950? Oh, okay. Here's a Waverly Hills 8-hour private investigation. So it's an 8-hour private investigation of at least part of all 5 floors plus the body shoot. Ticket is for up to 10 people. So up to 10 people is $1,100 for a private investigation.
Okay.
Which I would absolutely foot the bill for if people could get to Kentucky, and that's for up to 10 people. So the more the merrier.
Yeah.
And that's 8 hours in Waverly fucking Hills. Yeah. And it would be from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. And
fuck yeah.
That's a fucking long time, and that's the middle of the night. So that's September through December. Yeah, $1,100.
All right, let's look at Waverly. Let's see if we can scare up some folks.
Waverly might be good. There's another one. Let me see if they do the West Virginia State Penitentiary.
The prisons.
That one is very interesting. It's in Moundsville, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Guided tours. I just want to do escape the pen. Private paranormal investigations. 6 hours. $1,000.
Okay.
Let me see how many people. So it's a 6 hours. Maximum of 20 people, or come all by yourself. Fuck.
Oh shit.
I've seen some of these. I'm a pussy. You ain't letting me. I'm not going anywhere by my fucking self, dude. Fuck no.
Bro, there's a show. Oh shit, I can't. Come back to me. I'll try to remember the premise. It was cracking my ass up when I was watching it. I just can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, guys.
Um,
Okay, we're gonna do events. This could be a thing.
Yeah, they are Peckerwood. I mean, everybody and their brother thinks they're an investigator now.
Yeah, I mean, if you go investigate, are you an investigator? Can you call yourself an investigator?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I would call myself a seeker. I'm just a seeker. I like
yeah,
that too.
I would like that better than investigator because it's not like that's what we're doing for a living yet.
I mean, if it got, man, I really want to. I really want to do this. So we got to figure out a way to raise some money. We are gonna. I need to get on the merch thing. So if you guys buy merch, I know 5 of you isn't gonna pay our way to fucking Waverly Hills.
I've been throwing T-shirt ideas out like crazy. So
Yeah, no, this is good. I just need to get this shit fucking locked in, and we'll get them out there. I think we should do some events and invite whoever wants to go.
I mean, yeah,
that would be fucking fun. I'll supply the GoPros. I'm gonna reach out to GoPro and tell them to sponsor the show.
bro, I would back you up on that because I mean I'm webcamming with a GoPro right now.
Yeah,
By the way, am I coming through all right? I tried doing this whole episode
100%.
just off my.
It's working great.
Okay, so iPhone needs to sponsor this show too because their personal hotspot is carrying pretty good.
Let me see. There was a website that I found that was sold, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, yeah, here. So there's a obviously it's Chinese made, but it's been used by paranormal investigators, and it's basically a GoPro, but it's specifically for, well, I shouldn't say specifically. They've marketed it as a ghost hunting camera. It's called the Phasm.
Yeah.
And it's $180. It's got 5 stars, 25 reviews. I might just buy a handful of those because I want to anyway. So that'll be fun. Have you ever heard of the Boo Buddy?
No.
It's a little stuffed bear that has an EMF trigger in it, and when it goes off, the bear is programmed with questions.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Also, addressing the fat guy sizes, you ain't gonna have a show with somebody nicknamed Big Block in it and not have big boy sizes.
We will absolutely have big boy sizes.
It would suck not being able to wear my own merch.
You will be able to wear your own merch. I'd like to get us some cool jackets and shit too.
Yes, the Haunt Squad.
Scott, you can tell Ashley that the Ghost Squatch will absolutely be on a shirt and a hoodie and all sorts of fun stuff. Hats too. I need to get myself I love old school trucker hats, so I'm gonna have to get myself a Ghost Squatch hat.
For sure. Lance, holler at me when you come to Arkansas. Like, what part of Arkansas are you going to?
Street stuff, like street racing. You guys got street racing in Arkansas?
I mean, we're close enough to the 405.
Oh shit. Yeah, fun. All right, well, that does it for us here tonight on Talking Paranormal. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week to talk about the Philadelphia experiment. I'm sure all sorts of fun stuff. Matt sent me some videos that we didn't play tonight, so I'll get those uploaded, and we'll rock and roll. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, as usual, and we will see you next Saturday night. Remember, anything's possible. 1000% maybe. And do not stick your penis in a portal, for Christ's sakes. We'll see you guys.
Don't put your dick in it.
You definitely don't put your dick in it.